Hello, welcome to another video. This video is a continuation of the beginner sewing that we started in the previous couple of videos where we did the basting stitches and we did the plain seam with a back stitch. And we're going to continue with this little format where I have, a little graphical text, hand sketched drawings and instructions for how to construct this type of stitch. And I like that format, so I'm going to continue kind of with that same type of format. So in this video, we're going to go over top stitching, what it is, how to construct it, and where it's applied. And I'll walk you guys step by step of actually constructing a top stitch. So let's talk about what it is. So a top stitch is basically a stitch that is stitched on the right side of the fabric, usually about 1/4 inch away from the actual plain seam edge. And you can use the foot of the sewing machine, and we'll go over this when we create the sample. You use the edge of the foot to get an approximate measurement of that 1/4 inch. So the benefits of a top stitch is that it adds stability, it adds like a little decorative design to garments, and it just makes it look more professional if it's done right. You'll find them like on jeans, you can find them on bags, on jackets. So here I have a couple of examples, and I encourage you guys to go through your closet or when you're out shopping to notice these kinds of things. So here I have this jacket. If you look at this right here, you'll see there is a stitch right there. This is where the original plain seam was on this fold, and then about 1/4 inch there's another stitch. This is the top stitch that's going all the way down. And if I continue to look at this, analyze this jacket, you'll see there's some top stitching there. Now, this is a form of top stitch called an edge stitch. We'll go over this in the next video. So as you can see, there's several areas on this jacket. Then I have a pair of jeans. Same thing here. If I look at this pocket, you'll see there's 2 rows of stitches. This one here that's close to the edge is called an edge stitch. The one below it is what we're talking about, which is the top stitch, and it's about 1/4 inch away from the edge of this pocket. And then you've got another row going all the way around the pocket. And if you notice, this is going to add stability. This pocket is nice and stable, attached, and it looks really nice. So there you have it. It looks nice and it adds stability. More top stitching here. More top stitching going on here. And then I finally have a backpack here. Same thing. If I analyze, here's a top stitch going on around this pocket. And let's see if there's anything else. So I encourage you to go through your closet and see where you can find some top stitching going on in your garments or bags, anywhere. All right, now that we know kind of an overview of this, you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric. All right, to go over the example of the top stitch, I'm going to use some of this denim fabric that I have. I'm just going to cut 2 pieces of about the same, just maybe a square, small piece. make sure that you use a woven fabric. We're not using anything that has any type of stretch. This is not stretchy, it's not knit, it's woven. So make sure, like cotton, anything that doesn't stretch will work for this. And if you notice, I use these pinking shears. And the reason I use pinking shears for my samples is so that the edges don't fray when I put them in my binder. And it just looks nicer. Okay, so once you have cut your two pieces, you're going to take your two pieces of fabric, and step one is to construct a plain seam. To do that, and we went over that in a previous video, I will link that down in the description of this video. So you'll face your fabric right sides together, right sides facing. Then what you'll do is go to your machine and do a plain seam at 5/8 seam allowance with back stitch at the beginning and at the end, all the way down this fabric. Make sure your machine is set at 2.5 stitch length. Okay, now I have my fabric at about 5/8. Let's line this up a little bit better. So I'm going to line my fabric with my 5/8 line for a 5/8 seam allowance, and then I'm just going to back stitch and then stitch all the way down. All right, once you have your plain seam, take your fabric and go to your iron and press the seam open. I'm going to go press this and I'll be right back. Okay, I have pressed my seam open. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to put my fabric right side facing up, because this is a top stitch. And we're not going to back stitch. But what I am going to do is I'm going to line up the edge of this foot here with where my seam line is right here. And that'll give us approximately 1/4 inch. And you don't back stitch on this, you just stitch. And there you have it. This is a top stitch. And you can repeat it on both sides, which I'm going to do just to demo this again. Again, I'm lining up the edge of the foot with that seam right there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stitch with no back stitch. And this completes that sample. We've got 2 rows of top stitch on this seam. All right, guys, so this wraps up our top stitch sample for our notebook. go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put mine in my notebook, and then I'll put another one of these plastic inserts that I bought at Staples. And you see, like this one, I just put the fabric inside the sleeve here. And then on this side, I have my little instruction sheet. So again, if you guys like my little sketchy thing over here and you're interested in downloading it, please let me know in the comments and I can make a link available to you guys so you can download that. And then you'll put this in your plastic sleeve and put it on inside your notebook to keep those together. Now, I hope you guys go and practice this on your own and see how beautiful this can be and what a difference it can make in your garments. And you can start applying these to your projects, even if your instructions don't have instructions for you to do this. You can add this, you know, just by analyzing your garments in your home, you can decide, oh, this would look nice, you know, like we saw on the back of the jeans, because this is a great place to add stability, right? Because this stretches and this will less likely to tear here. Your pockets, we're always putting things in and out of our pocket. It adds stability. Of course, there's other areas. We've got around the zip fly here and the front crotch area. So you can decide now when you're making a garment when you want to add a top stitch. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys practice these and take your own sewing to the next level. I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao. And don't forget to hit the like button, and please hit the subscribe button if you found this video useful. Thanks. Bye.